Hey, hello. So we're going manual for teachers, and the ninth question: are changes required in the life situation of God's teachers?
Changes are required in the minds of God's teachers. This may or may not involve changes in the external situation. Remember that no one is where he is by accident, and chance plays no part in God's plan. It is most unlikely that changes in attitudes would not be the first step in the newly made teacher of God's training. There is, however, no set pattern since training is always highly individualized. There are those who are called upon to change their life situation almost immediately, but these are generally special cases. By far the majority are given a slowly evolving training program in which as many previous mistakes as possible are corrected. Relationships in particular must be properly perceived, and all dark cornerstones of forgiveness removed. Unforgiveness. Otherwise, the old thought system still has a basis for return. As the teacher of God advances in his training, he learns one lesson with increasing thoroughness. He does not make his own decisions. He asks his teacher for his answer, and it is this he follows as his guide for action. This becomes easier and easier as the teacher of God learns to give up his own judgment. The giving up of judgment, the obvious prerequisite for hearing God's voice, is usually a fairly slow process, not because it is difficult, not because it is apt to be perceived as personally insulting. Let me reread
But
that again.
yeah,
The giving up of judgment, the obvious prerequisite for hearing God's voice, is usually a fairly slow process, not because it is difficult, but because it is apt to be perceived as personally insulting. The world's training is directed toward achieving a goal in direct opposition to that of our curriculum. The world trains for reliance on one's judgment as the criterion for maturity and strength. Our curriculum trains for the relinquishment of judgment as the necessary condition of salvation.
yeah, I think this is very clear. The changes in the mind, it doesn't matter how it's going to look on the outside. So we don't have to worry like where we're going to go, who's going to be involved, what it's going to look like. We don't have to leave our families. We don't have to go off to a monastery
Or an island.
or an island. It's
See,
right where you're at.
see.
But doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It could happen. You could be inspired to do all those things. It's not there's not a prohibition one way or the other. It's all an individualized curriculum, ¿verdad? Like that's what I like about this. It just goes exactly where you're at with what you have. And if you're guided to change something of your physical condition, it will be given. And trusting that it's the best thing for you. Like if there's a radical change in your life conditions, then that's part of your personalized curriculum. And if there isn't, then that's part of yours. So we don't have to start like, we don't have to be like comparing ourselves. Oh, I need to do like whatever like this person has done, or I'm not doing it right because my life condition hasn't changed. ¿Tienes algo que añadir? You have something to add?
Non-judgment and total trust. That's it.
Sí,
That's it.
sí.
Trust.
Also, happiness comes with that.
Yeah, because the other state, when you start comparing, you start to think, oh, I'm doing this wrong, or I need to do it like this other person is doing. That creates a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of judgment there.
And it's wrong.
And it's wrong.
You never know what your best interests are. That's today's lesson.
That's today's lesson, by the way. 24. We never know what our best interests are in any situation. Not in some, in any. Like you don't know.
Sí.
So it could be at a monastery, it could be at the beach, it could be at Gary's house, or it could be in Kentucky, in a hermitage somewhere, or in Ponce.
Anywhere and
Anywhere
everywhere.
and everywhere.
Exacto. Yes, indeed. There is no anywhere.
También? Yeah.
There is no anywhere.
Here and now.
Aquí ahora.
¿Eh? ¿Él habla español?
Sí, él habla español. Hey, David.
Well, I liked it. Very good. I think you guys hit all the high points. I'm in
Good.
total agreement. So there's aspects of trust that comes through. It states again that it is about the mind. And if we really take this in, the whole process of decision becomes a whole lot easier because we don't have to worry about it. We can just accept the thing that's there. That's probably all I would add to it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we're good, right?
It feels that way. Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you. Have a
Thank
good
Thank
day.
you.
See you
By the way,
tomorrow.
that wrap you had looked pretty damn delicious.
It didn't.
Yeah, I could eat only half.
She
It
didn't eat
was
the whole
too
thing.
big because I'm used to the smaller tortillas, the ones that are here. So I saved some for maybe later or tomorrow. But yeah, it was delicious.
Good.
Well, have a good
Well,
day.
You too.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.